ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात् कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारम् प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरननदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरम् हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानम् मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजम् कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकम् करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुम् लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः
ॐ
श्री परमात्मने नमः।
परमात्मने नमः।
अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः
अथ
चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
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 कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येदकर्मणि च कर्म यः
कर्मण्यकर्म यः
कर्मण्यकर्मयः
पश्येद कर्मणि च
पश्येदकर्मणि
कर्म
च
यः
कर्म च
स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्म कृत्
स बुद्धिमान्
बुद्धिमान्
मनुष्येषु स
मनुष्येषु स
युक्तः
युक्तः
कृत्स्नकर्म कृत्।
कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्।
An important Sutra Bhuta shloka which we have seen in the Bhashyam for the last few classes. A long Bhashyam runs for 3-4 pages. So then, before going to the next shloka, which is Yasya Sarve Samarambhaha, we will read from the Gita Priya Bodhini. Here also, it's a long commentary, some 4 pages commentary. Here also, you will find the Purva Pakshi raising some objection, and it is answered. This discussion with the Purva Pakshi, it sharpens our intellect and makes the idea very strongly entrenched in our minds. So it is a sort of mananam. So that in that way, this argument, the imagined opponent and the question from the imagined opponent, the Siddhanti answers. So that convinces the listeners, convinces the students, removes all the doubts the errors, the vague ideas. So it is serves as the maranam and helps us to gain nishta in the teaching of the Shastra. So here also we will find some Purvapakshi raising objections. Na eva naiva na eva etani arudasya tu bodhavyani kintu arurukshoho कर्मा कर्मणोः एव तत्त्वं बोद्धव्यम् अशुभ मोक्षाय इति पूर्वं वक्ष्यामि इति यत् प्रतिज्ञातं तदिदानीम् उपदिशति. The words arurukshoho, arurukshuhu, arudaha, which comes in the 6th chapter. And we know what they mean. We have seen the Gita Moolam class. Arudaha, the one who has climbed up the ladder of yoga, who has gained the state of contemplation, who has done Shravanam and sufficiently Mananam. Therefore, he is Arudaha. Na eva etani Arudasya tu bodhavyan. This is not for the one who has already achieved, accomplished. Kintu Arurukshohu. Arodum Ichuhu. For him only. Arurukshoho karma karmanoho tattvam. The truth. The tattvam. The truth of karma akarma. The analysis of karma akarma leads to the discovery of the tattvam of Atma. The inquiry of karma akarma, that is why karmanaha bodhavyam, akarmanaha bodhavyam, vikarmanascha bodhavyam. Iti Bhagavata uttam. So the inquiry leads to the inquiry nothing but Atma Vichara. The inquiry leads to the inquiry of Atma. So therefore karma karmanoho tattvam bodhavyam should be understood, should be known, knowing which Ashubha mokshaya. Ashubhat mokshaha ashubha moksha. Ashubhat moksha se ashubhat. Bhagavan said, Yajñatva moksha se ashubhat. Ashubhat samsarat mokshaya bhavati. Iti purvam vakshyami. Iti purvam. Bhagavan said, bodhavyam iti purvam. Vakshyami iti iti pratignatam. And also he told that I will teach. Iti bhagavata iti pratignatam. Tatidani upadishati. That he teaches here. Upadishati. Tatatvam. Karma karmanoho tattvam. Yat bodhavyam tat vakshyami iti yat bhagavata pratignatam. Tat Bhagavan atra upadishati. Bhagavan teaches here. The Sangati almost same as the Sangati, which we are saying in the Bhashyam. Karmanya karmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmyah sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayukta krishna karma krita. Yadi Acharya Shankarananda explains every word. What is karma? As Bhashyakara also did. What is karma? Kriyate iti karma we have seen. Karma vitpatti. Vyapara matram iti we have seen. Kriyate, which is done. Au degendriyaihi. Degendriyaihi kriyate. Kriyate dehascha indriyani cha. Taihi. Degendriyaihi eva kriyate nirvartyate. Done, accomplishes. Nirvartyate means it is done. Not nivartyate. Nivartyate is withdrawal. Nivritti. Nirvartyate. Engages. Accomplishes. Nirvartyate. Karma is accomplished. That which is accomplished with the help of Deha, the Sharira, and Indriyani, Karma Indriyani, Jnana Indriyani. That is called karma. Iti karma. Kriyate Degendriya eva nirvartyate iti karma. That karma could be Lokika karma or Vedika karma. Lokiko Vedikascha. Sarvaha api vyaparaha. Sarvaha api vyaparaha. All the vyapara, the activities which are done, whether it is Lokika, Loke Bhavaha, the karma which are related to this Loka, which are performed in the Loka, transact the Lokika, the transactions, what we do in the Loka, and Vaidika, material actions as well as spiritual, as well religious actions. Vaidika, the karma which are ordained by the Shastra, Nitya Nimitika, the karma which involves Agni, mainly Agni, Vaidika karma. So whatever may be the karma, they are done with the help of the Deha, Indriya, therefore their karma, Vyaparaha. Tasmin karmani, Cheshta matre. Cheshta matra is Mayura Vimsakadi. Should we say Tanmatra? Cheshta matre. Tasmin karma, in that karma, Cheshta matre, Aupadike. Aupadika is Tadita word. Upadi, Aupadika. Aupadike, in the Aupadika, in the Upadi, Upadi is the Sharir Manasangata, which is Upadi. Tasmin karmani cheshta matre aupadike. There is a cheshta, there is a movement, there is an action in the upadi. Atma yatatmya yaha. Atma yatatmya yaha. The one who knows the Atma as it is. Yatatmyam. That is also the Dita. Yatha Atma. Yatha tata. Yatatmyam. Atmanaha yatatmyam. Atmanaha swarupam. Nyaha yaha janati saha. Atmagyaha ityartaha. In simple word. Atmagyaha. Who is that Vidwan? Akarma, that is karma abhavam, absence of karma, inaction. Akarma is inaction. Karma abhavam. Akarma is equal to karma abhavam. Yaha pashyet. Tasmin karmani. In that karma, the karma which is seen in the upadi. Cheshta matre upadike. The upadi which in which the karma, the action is seen. For the one who knows the Atma, that is Vidwan, Saha karma abhavam pashyet pashyati. This is in action. In the action of the Sharira Manasangata is in action. Tataiva, in the same way, akarmani, dehendriya vyapara uparama lakshane. Uparama is withdrawal. When the activities, when the actions of the Deha Indriya, Sharira Sangata is withdrawn, is stopped, Uparamaha, Uparama Lakshane, Tushnim Avasthaya, not doing anything, remaining quite Tushnim Avasthaya, Karma, that is Kriyam, Eva Yaha Pashyet. Yaha Pashyati, Saha Vidwan. Akarmani karma yaha pashyet. There is no karma seen in the upadi, dehendriya, because vyapara, uparama lakshane, when the deha indriya are withdrawn from performing any actions, it is in the avastha tushnim avastha, yaha karma pashyati, karma kriyam eva pashyati. Even though action is not seen in the upadi, but Vidwan sees action. Yaha pashyet. This is the meaning of the first line of the shloka. Now here the Purva Pakshi. Again, this Purva Pakshi, it is a different argument here. Some Purva Pakshis we will see similar as we have seen in the Bhashyan. Here I have highlighted to show that this is the argument of the Purva Pakshi. Otherwise, which is the argument, which is the answer, difficult to find. So that's why I highlighted. Even though Nanu is there, sometimes where the argument of the Purva Pakshi ends. It's difficult to know. That's why I have highlighted the argument of the Purva Pakshi. Nanu karmani akarma darshanam cha akarmani karma darshanam cha ubayamapi na sambhavati. Why? Pratyaksha virodhat. In the karma akarma darshanam, seeing inaction. Similarly, in the inaction, seeing action, karma darshanam. Karmanaha darshanam, karma darshanam. Both are not possible. Why? Because it is pratyaksha pramana virodhat. It is opposed to the pratyaksha. It is opposed to pratyaksha. We don't see. It is not. When a person acts, it cannot be said to be non-performing karma. Similarly, when he doesn't act, we cannot say he is performing an action. So it is pratyaksha virodha. Na hi karma akarma bhavitvam argati. Vyaparasya drishyamanatvat. Also, karma cannot become akarma. Bhavitam na argati. Karma cannot become akarma. When action is done, how can that action be inaction? Because the hetu is given vyaparasya drishyamanatvat, because the action vyaparaha, the transaction, the involvement of the karakas are seen. Vyapara means all the karakas are involved. Karta, karma, kriya, the sampradana, karana. Therefore, drishyamanatvat. Drishyamanatvat, because it is seen. Vyaparasya drishyamanatvat. Vyapara, because the vyapara is seen. Therefore, karma cannot become a karma. Because the results are there. Karma is done, and therefore, karmanaha palam. So, drishyamanatvat, karma, akarma, nabhavitam argati. Similarly, napi, akarma cha karma bhavati. Similarly, akarma also cannot become karma. Why? Sthanuvat tushnim bhavasya upalabhyamanatvat. Sthanuvat, like a post, sthanuvat tushnim bhavasya, that which remains quite stationary, not moving, no cheshta, not acting. Tushnim bhavasya upalabhyamanatvat. Upalabhyamanatvat, that which doesn't move, doesn't perform any action. Upalabhyamanatvat. Upalabhyamanam is knowing. The act, it is known when something remains quiet, there is no action. In that, upalabhyamanatvat, akarma karma bhavati. Inaction cannot become action. Upalabhyamanatvat, bhavecha abhava darshanam, bhavecha abhava darshanam, abhavecha bhava darshanam. Bhavecha abhava darshanam, abhavecha bhava darshanam. In the presence, you cannot see the absence. In the absence, you cannot see the presence. Akarma, there is absence of karma. Here, akarma is, the nanj is not virodha, virodhartha. It is absence. It is abhavartha. Absence of action. So, therefore, bhave, karma abhava darshanam, karma abhave, karma darshanam. Bhave cha abhava darshanam, abhave cha bhava darshanam. These both are ati viruddham. They are opposite, ati viruddham. And also apramanikam. Already he said pratyaksha virodha, therefore it is apramanikam. It is against pramana and it is contradictory. In the absence, there cannot be the presence. In the presence of something, there cannot be the absence of that. So therefore, ati viruddham apramanikam. Iti two reasons he gives. Therefore, bhava abhava yogo, bhavatvam abhavatva, bhavatvam, bhavatva, bhava bhava yogo. Therefore, in the bhava and abhava, abhavatva, bhavatva asambhavat iti chet, we say na. So in the bhava and abhava, Abhavatva, bhavatva. Abhavatva, bhavatva. Abhava, having bhava. Absence, absence being present. The presence of the absence is impossible. Therefore, in the Bhava Bhava Yoga, Abhavatva Bhavatva, Abhavatvam and Bhavatvam Asambhavat. Mutually, you have to take for both. In the Bhava, there cannot be Abhava. In the Abhava, there cannot be Bhava. Therefore, Abhavatva Bhavatva. Bhava Bhava Yoga Asambhavat, because of the impossibility of Abhavatvam in the Bhava, Bhavatvam in the Abhava. Asambhavat iti. If you say no, we say no. Chet na. No, it is not correct. Chet, chet na, chet na. Chet, up to chet is Purvapakshi argument. Siddhanti says na. No, it is not correct. Why? This objection is raised without properly inquiring into the shloka. Therefore, the Siddhanti says Sadbuddhya Vicharyamane. Sadbuddhya Vicharyamane. Vichara is involved, therefore Sadbuddhi. There should be, the Buddhi should be Sadbuddhi. The Buddhi should be endowed with the qualities required for the Vichara. So it should not just swallow what the, it should not swallow what the person says. Sadbuddhya Vicharyamane. With the Sadbuddhi Vicharyamane, when it is inquired, Buddhya Vicharyamane, and the Buddhi should be Sadbuddhi, not Durbuddhi. So the argument and Vichara should be proper. Sadbuddhya Vicharyamane, Darshana Dvaya Upapattehe. This Darshana Dvayam, Karma Darshanam, Akarma Darshanam. Akarma Darshanam in Karma, and Karma Darshanam in Akarma. That is the Darshana Dvayam. Darshana Dvaya Upapatti, tenability, possibility, tenability of this Darshana Dvayam, Upapattihi Bhavati, Upapattehe, Tat Katam iti Chet Uchyate. This Darshana Dvaya Upapattihi Katam iti, if you ask, how is it? How this Darshana Dvayam is tenable, if you ask, that we will say Uchyate, that it is being said. Swayam Akarma, Swayam Akarma, Akarma referring, Karma is Akarman, Karman, Nakaranta, but it is Pullinga, referring to the Vidwan. So therefore, like Atman Shabda, Atma, Atmano, Atmanaha. Even though Karman is Napumsakalinga, but here referring to the Vidwan, therefore Bhagavadi Samasa. Therefore, Karma, Karmano, Karmanaha. Karma, Karmani, Karmani, Karman Shabda, Napumsakalinga. But if it is Bhagavadi Samasa, Nanj Bhagavadi, na Karma Vidyate Yasya, Karman. So Akarma, Akarmano, Karmanaha. So Akarma referring to the person. Swayam Akarma Sanyeva. Oneself being Akarma, Kartrutva Nasti, therefore Akarma. Puman, Manushyaha. Anya Karmana Karmi na Bhavati. San na eva, san eva. Being Akarma, oneself being Akarma, oneself being Akarta. Anya Karmana, oneself being Karma, Akarma, Puman. Anya Karmana Karmi na Bhavati. Anya Karmana means karma, because the karma done by the other person, he will not become a Karmi. Being Akarma, Swayam, oneself being Akarma, cannot become Karmi, Karmi na Bhavati, Anya Karmana. Anya Karmana means karma done by the other person. Right? Agam Akarma, Agam Akarta, Akarma. I know myself to be not the Sharyamana Sangata, Aham Atma iti. But you do karma, you are doing karma is not going to make me a karmi. Therefore, there's a clear distinction between you and me. Agam Atma, Agam Vidwan. And you are Avidwan. You are Ajnani. You have Kartrutva Bhava, therefore you are karmi. Because you do karma, I don't become a karmi. Because I have Jnanam. Similarly, Yatha Mega Kriyaya Chandraha Kriyavan Tata Chalana Kriyaya Atapaka Kriyavan Tata Dehadi Tadatmyena Dehadi Kriyaya Swayam Akriyaha Pi Kriyavan Bhavati Akila Jantuhu Tatapi Brahmaveta Brahmayevaham Iti Brahmani Eva Atmatta Vijnanena Swasya Dehadi Sambandha Abhavat Tat Kartarkam Karma Akarma Eva Pashyati Yata Mega Kriya Chandraha Kriyavan Bhavati. Here it gives an example. Karma done by one person cannot make the other person a karmi. That is the statement first he says, and that he explains with the examples. Swayam Akarmasan, Swayam Pavan Akarmasan, Anya Karmana Karmina Bhavati. Like what? Like Yata, Mega Kriya, Mega, the clouds, they move, they Kriya, there is a chesta, there is a movement of the clouds. Because of the movement of the clouds, when we see in the night, the moon in the sky, because of the movement of the clouds, it looks as though the Chandra is moving. The moon is moving. Therefore, Chandraha Kriyavan Bhavati. Mega Kriya, Chandraha Kriyavan Bhavati. Even though Chandra doesn't move, Chandra moves, that's a different thing. That is a movement. Moon revolves, rotates around the earth, that is different. But here, Mega Kriya, because of the movement of the clouds moves fast, therefore it looks as though the Chandra, the moon, moves. So Chandraha Kriyavan Bhavati. Similarly, Yata Chalana Kriyaya Atapaka Kriyavan Bhavati. Similarly, sun also Kriyavan Bhavati. Chalana Kriyaya Atapaha Kriyavan. Atapaha is the sun or the rays of the sun. The rays of the sun seems to be moving because of the movement of the people. The rays seems to be moving. Atapaka Kriyavan Bhavati. Similarly, Tata Dehadi Tadatmyena, because of the Abhimana with the Dehadi, the Upadi, Sharimana Sangata, and therefore the Kriya of them, Dehadi Kriya, Swayam. Swayam is Swayam Atma, the person who knows Aham Atma iti. Swayam Akriyaha api, Atma Akriyaha api, because of Dehadi Kriya, Kriyavan Bhavati Akila Jantuhu. Oneself being Atma, because of the Chesta, because of the Kriya, because of the action of the Dehadi, Charimana, Sangata, Swayam Kriyavan, Akriyaha api, Kriyavan Bhavati. Akila Jantuhu, the entire beings, even though all the beings, they become Kriyavan, though they don't really perform karma. What performs karma is only the Upadi. They don't perform karma, really being Atma, Tatapi. And Akila Jantuhu referring to all the beings, all the living beings. Tatapi, Tata Kriyavan Bhavati Tatapi, Brahma Veta, Yaha Brahma Janati, Agam Brahma Asmi iti Yaha Janati, Brahma Vekam Agam iti Yaha Janati Veta, Brahmani Eva Atmatva Vijnanena, Brahmani Atmatvena, Brahmani Eva Atmatva Vijnanena. Atmatma Vijnanam means Brahmani Atmatma Vijnanam means Aham Brahma Asmi iti Yaha Janati Vijnanam. He has got the Aparoksha Jnanam. He has the Vijnanam, the Jnanam of that Atma to be Brahma. So Brahmani Eva Atmatvam, Atmatva Vijnanam Yasya Asti Saha. Brahmani Eva Atmatva Vijnanena, by the knowledge, he is referring to the knowledge, by the Jnanam, that Atma is Brahma, Swasya Degadi Sambandha Abhavat. Swasya is not connected to Degadi. Degadi Sambandha Abhavat. There is no Sambandha, there is no connection, there is no association with the Deha, because Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Brahma. Brahma is, everything is Brahma. Brahma is Puram. How can be confined to this limited Sharira Manasangata? How can the unlimited be tied up to the limited? So Degadi Sambandha Abhavat. Swasya Degadi Sambandha Abhavat. Atmanaha Degadi Sambandha Abhavat. Tatkartrikam, karma, akarma eva. Tatkartrikam is the karma done by that person. Karma done by the person, the Sharira Manasangata. The karma, akarma eva pashyati. He says that karma is akarma only. Because being Atma, Atma doesn't do karma. So the kartrikam is really, it is not the Atma doesn't do karta, it is mithya. Because of the Degadi Sambandha, it appears the person to be doing karma. Therefore, akarma eva iti vidwan, dharmaveta pashyati. Therefore, tatra aham mama iti svatva abhavat. In that person, tatra, tasmin, vijnane, that jnanam, aham mama iti svatvam. Svatvam is oneself. Svatvam, sva abhimana, svatvam, being oneself. The svatvam, abhimana with the sharirmana, sangata. Svatva abhavat, because of the absence of svatvam, swasya bhavaha, svatvam. Swasya bhavaha, yes, swa referring to the sharirmana sangata, svatvam abhavat, because of the absence of that. Aham mama iti svatva abhavat. Iti na abhavat, tatra aham mama iti svatva abhavat. There is no agam iti abhimanaha with the sharira. Similarly, mamakara also not there, because there is no abhimana. There is no svatvam abhavat, because of the absence of svatva agam mama iti. So therefore karma akarma eva pashyati. This is karma of the Deha Sharira Manasangata as akarma eva, being non-associated with, not connected with. Because there is no abhimana with that svatva abhavat, therefore karma akarma eva pashyati. Nahi anya kartarke karmani anyasya svatvam upapadyate. Nahi anya kartarka karma done by the Sharira Manasangata. Anya kartarka. In that anyasya svatvam na upapadyate. It is not tenable. It is not tenable svatvam, swabhimana, with the karma done by the other person. That's what he said in the beginning. One cannot have abhimana with the karma done by the other person. In here, Sharira Manasangata is different from me. Therefore, it is anya. It is anyaha. So, for anya kartarke karmani, in the karma done by the other than me, other than Atma, the Sharira Manasangata. Tasmin, svatvam, the swabhimana, na upapadyate, not tenable. Therefore, tad abhavat, because of the absence of that, degadi kartarkam karma, asya akarma eva. Therefore, karma done by the Sharira Manasangata is akarma eva for that person. Nahi anya kartarka, referring to the karma, the karma done by the other karta. Karma done by another person, not taken to be the karma done by me. Because there is the anya kartarka and I am a different karta. In that similarly, Shariram also is different from me. Therefore, how can there be swabhimana with the karma done by the Dehadi, Sharira Manasanga Sangata? So tat abhavat Dehadi kartarkam karma done by the Deha Sharira Manasangata, Dehadi Adipada Indriyani, Sharira Manasangata. The body mind sense complex. Karma done by the Dehadi kartarkam karma, asya is for that person, vidwan, jnani, tasya akarma eva. The karma is akarma eva. Bhavati. Abandakatvena Akarma tulyatva, because it doesn't bind the person. Karma done by the Sharira Manasangata doesn't bind the Atma. Therefore, it is abandhakatvam tena. That is one hetu. And also, akarma tulyatva, it is equivalent to akarma eva. Karma done by the Sharira Manasangata is equivalent to akarma eva. Like the karma done by the other person, not going to influence me. There is no swatvam. Similarly, tulyatvat, akarma tulyatvat. Tasma, therefore, tat akarma eva pashyati. Therefore, akarma karmani akarma eva pashyati. Tasma, therefore, tat referring tat tasmin tat karmani tat akarma eva pashyati. This is akarma. This is that as akarma. This is karma as akarma only, because there is no swatvam, swabhimana with regard to the Sharira Manasangata. Natu swagatam karma akarma pashyati. Swasya niravayattvena kriya samavaya anupapattehe. Natu swagatam karma akarma pashyati. Swagatam karma means one's own karma. Akarma na pashyati. Swasya niravayattvena kriya samavaya anupapattehe. Karma akarma na pashyati. Swagatam karma akarma na pashyati. Swagatam karma akarma na pashyati. Swasya niravayattvena kriya samavaya anupapattehe. Samavaya means association. Swasya is swasya atmanaha. Atma is doesn't have any avayava. Therefore, swasya niravayattvena, because of the niravayatvam of the absence of avayava, the parts. Therefore, there cannot be association with the kriya. Kriya samavaya anupapattihi, untenability of the association with the kriya, being oneself free from avayava. Therefore, swagatam karma akarmana, and also here, swagatam karma, one's own karma, that is the karma done by the Sharira. You see, the karma done by the Sharira, when you see it as a karma, there also abhimana is involved. Then only you see it as a karma. It doesn't see at all. It is something, that's what he said beautifully before. Karma done by the other person, you never mistake it as a karma done by you. Even in dream also, you will not mistake the karma done by the other person as a karma done by you. You are not going to suffer for the result of the karma done by the other person. Even in dream, such mistake not possible. Therefore, swagatam karma akarmana pashyati. Swagatam karma of oneself. That is karma of the Sharira Manasangata. Akarmana pashyati. He doesn't see as akarma. It means Sharira Manasangata does karma. He doesn't see that as akarma, because karma is the body acts, the mind acts, indriyani functions, body functions. How can you see it as akarma? He doesn't have any illusion. They are performing some action, some karma they do. He doesn't have any visualization of the kriya, the cheshta of deghadi as akarma. Swasya niravayattvena, himself being atma, doesn't have avayava. Therefore, there is no kriya samavaya, there is no association, there is no connection with the kriya of the deghadi anupapattehe. Therefore, akarma pashyati. Okay, the sentence to be understood properly. Otherwise, swagatam karma akarma pashyati means it seems contradicting the shloka. Here it means swagatam karma akarma na pashyati, natu pashyati. The kriya, the actions done by the Sharira Manasangata They move, they walk, they recognize as sense objects, Indriyani, recognize as sense objects. All the cheshtas are seen. You cannot see that as they don't perform any karma. They perform karma. So you cannot have any visual thinking or visualization on that. So even though they perform karma, it doesn't have abhimana. That is what is important. Its abhimana is not with the deghadi. Its abhimana is with the atma. The discovery of oneself to be free from the Sharira Mana Sankata in spite of enjoying the Sharira Mana Sankata, he knows it's not bound by that. That is the vision. So therefore, the karma done by, it doesn't have any fanciful imagination, the karma of Deghadi to be akarma. Himself being Atma doesn't have Avayava, therefore it cannot have association with the Kriya. Only when Avayava is there, then there could be Samavaya with the Kriya. Samavaya with the Kriya, the karma, association with the karma. Only when Avayava is there, then only there can be association with the karma. Only when Avayava. When Avayava meaning, then only Karakas are possible. Karakas are there, then only Kriya is possible. Without Karaka, how can there be Kriya? When we say Karaka, Karakas are the Samavaya with the Kriya. Karta, Karma, Karana is required. Indriyanis are required. Jagam, body, Shariram is required for performing karma. Similarly, Sampradana, Adhikarana, the place of action, where the action is done. Apadana, all these Karakas are involved in the performance of the Kriya. Tasya Anupapattehi, the untenability of that, because Swayam Niravayava. Atma is Niravayava, without any parts. Being partless, how can Atma have association with the Karakas, with the Kriya? Cannot be. Anupapattihi. Yata Vrikshe Chalati Sati, Sati Saptami. Chalati is Krudanta, not Kriya Padam. Sati Saptami is that there should be a Krudanta word. Chalan chalanto chalantaha. Vrikshe Chalati Sati. In the moving tree. Chalati, Saptami Bhakti, Ekavachanam of Chalat, Chalan chalanto, Shatranta. Vrikshe Chalati Sati. Tatstam Akasham Nishkriyam Pashyati. Chalati Vrikshe. The trees are moving. Tatstam Akasham. Tasmin Tishtati iti Tatstam. We saw yesterday. Upapada Samasa. Tatmin Tishtati. Tatstam Akasham. The Akasha, the space. Nishkriyam Bhavati. Tree moves. In the moving trees, the background, the Akasha, which is that, there is no chalanam in that, there is no movement in that. Nishkriyam Pashyati. The background, like in the movie, the screen, the white screen doesn't move. The frames, the projections, the screen, the background screen doesn't move, but the light which are projected, it moves. Similarly, Akasham Nishkriyam Pashyati, Vrikshe Chalati Sati. Yata Megeshu Dhavatsu Satsu, Chandram Nishkriyam Pashyati. Megeshu Dhavatsu, again Dhavatsu, Shatranta, Dhavatsu Satsu, Bhagavachanam. When the clouds move, Chandram Nishkriyam Pashyati. This is the vision of the Jnani. Jnani doesn't see Chandra as moving because of the movement of the clouds. He sees Chandra as Nishkriya. This is a clear vision. The Drishtanta says, Nishkriyam Pashyati. Tata, similarly, Dekhendriyadi, Swachandam Vishayeshu Pravritteshu Satsu, Swam Nishkriyamiva Pashyati Vidwan. So, similarly, Swachandam Vishayeshu Pravritteshu, Dekhendriyadi, Deha, Indriya, etc. Manaha, etc. Adi Padat Manaha. Swachandam Vishayeshu, one's own Vishaya. Swachandam is one's own. Independently, they engage in their one's own Vishaya. Vishayeshu, Pravritteshu, this Deha, Sharira Mana Sangata, Pravritteshu, Satsu. What about Atma? Swam Atmanam Nishkriyam eva pashyati vidwan. Atma is to be not performing, not having any charana, not performing any kriya. Whereas Deha Swachandam Vishaye, Degasya Swachanda Vishaye, Pravrittihi asti Degasya, Indriyadehe api Swachanda Vishaye, Pravrittihi asti, Kintu Atmanaha Karmanasti. Atma is Nishkriyaha iti Yaha Pashyati. Vidwan Pashyati, Saha Vidwan. Tataha, therefore, Nishkalam, Nishkriyam, Ityadi Shruti Pramanyat, Kutastha, Asanga, Chidrupam, Atmanam eva Atmatvena Vijanataha Vidushaha, Dehadi Kartrike, Karmani, Akarma Darshanam, Upapadyate eva. Therefore, Karmani Akarma Darshanam is tenable. It gives a Shruti Pramanam, Nishkalam, Nishkriyam, Ityadi Shruti Pramanyat. Shruti Pramanam is there. Kutastha Asanga Chidrupam Atmanam. Atma, which is Kutastha. Kutastha literally means anvil. It means that which is doesn't move, that which is stationary. That can it move when it is all pervading. And it is asangaha. It cannot have any sangha. To have sangha, it must have parts. It is niravayava. Therefore, sangha varjitaha, atma, it is chidrupaha, chaitanyam, atmanam, atmanam atmatvena, knows atmanam atmatvena, aham atma adya atmatvena janati, that is myself, vijanataha yaha vidushaha, dehadi kartarke, in the karma done by the cheshta done by the dehadi, karmani, akarma darshanam is tenable. So, therefore, the vision of the vidwan is tenable. Karmani akarma darshanam papadyate eva. Iti answers the Purva Pakshi. Tasya etasya darshanasya vidvat pratyakshatvat akartaram sa pashyati ityadi smriti siddhatvacha pramanya upapatti. Previously he said, the Purva Pakshi, that we are answering Purva Pakshi. He said it is apramanikam and it is apratyak. It is not, it is pratyaksha virodha. No. For the vidwan it is pratyaksha. It is aparoksha. For the vidwan it is pratyakshatvat. Vidvat pratyakshatvat. Akartaram. Aham akarta iti pashyati. Akartaram pashyati. Atma akartaram iti pashyati. Yaga pashyati. Ityadi smriti siddhatvacha. Also smriti. Not only Shruti, Smriti also. Smriti said, because Shruti already told, Shruti Pramanyam he gave. Shruti Pramanyat, Nishkalam Nishkiramiti. Now Smriti Siddhatvacha. Gita is a Smriti. Therefore it is Smriti Siddha. Vidvat Pratyakshatvat, Akartaram, Atmanam, Saha Pashyati. Saha Pashyati ityadi Smriti Siddhatvacha. Therefore, that's a Pramanya Upapattehe. Pramanya Upapatti. Pramanam also it is being there. Therefore, akarmani karma darshanam is upapadyate eva. Kincha mudaha swasmin degadi adyasya tad vyapara uparamecha agam asetushnim sukham na kinchit karomi dukkakaram karma iti asukhe degendriya nirodhe sukhabuddhya tad akriya swam akriyam eva pashyati. Whereas some mudaha kincha, moreover, kincha, not some, kincha, moreover, mudaha, deluded because there's a mix-up of atma and atma for the person. He mixes both, which are immiscible, which cannot be mixed up, but he does mudaha. That's why he deluded. Swasmin dehadi adyasya. Swasmin is Swasmin Atmani, himself. He has the adhyasa, superimposition of dehadi. Tad vyapara uparame, when the transaction of this Sharimana Sangata is when it is stopped, Uparame, he says, Agam Ase Tushtim Sukam, I remain quite unhappy, happily also, Sukam, because no chesta, no action. Therefore, he says, I am happy, not doing anything. Nakinchit Karomi, I don't do anything. Dukkakaram karma iti. Karma is dukkakaram because karma involves effort, praitana. Therefore, karma is dukkakaram. Asuke, dehendriyadi nirode, when there is nirodha, cessation of the functioning of deha and indriya, cheshta, functioning means the action of the deha and indriya. Sukha buddhya, he has got the sukha buddhi in the nirodha of the deha indriya, because karma is dukkam, dukkakaram. Therefore, sukha buddhya, tat akriyaya, when the deha indriya doesn't perform karma, tat akriyaya, swam akriyameva pashyati. He himself sees to be a akriyavan, not akarma. He himself to be, he sees himself to be swam akriyam eva pashyati. I don't do anything. Swam akriyam eva pashyati mudaha. When the dehadi doesn't perform any action, he sees himself to be not performing any action. When the dehadi perform action, he sees himself to be performing action. When doesn't perform action, he sees himself to be not performing any action, and there is a sukhanubhava because there is no movement of deha indriya. So in that there is some sukham, tushtim sukham ase, na kinchit karomi iti. That anubhava is the he expresses. Therefore, it shows that he has got complete abhimana with the Sharimana Sangata. In the absence of the action of the Sharimana Sangata, he thinks himself to be not performing any karma. Pashyati. Yata, Dashtanta is given here. Yata Ashvarudaha. Yata Ashvarudaha. The one who has climbed upon the horse. Ashvarudaha. Ashvarudaha. Ashvarudaha is Tatpurushatamasa. Arudaha referring to the person. He climbs upon the horse. So Ashve Arudaha, Ashvarudaha. Ashvastitya, now he is sitting on the horse. Ashvarudaha. Ashvastitya, when the Ashvastiti, when the Ashvastitya, when the horse stands, doesn't walk, doesn't run, when the horse remains motionless, stationary, swam stitam pashyati, he sees himself to be stationary, not moving. He is sitting on the horse. The horse doesn't move. So he thinks himself to be not moving. Swam stitam pashyati. Ashvastitya swam stitam pashyati. Yata gachantam, similarly when the horse moves, he thinks himself to be moving. When the horse runs, he runs. He thinks he runs, but he doesn't run, he's just sitting on the horse. Only the horse does the chesta. He doesn't do any chesta. He's just sitting on the horse. He has abhimana with the horse now. When the horse runs, he runs. When the horse doesn't run, doesn't move, he doesn't move. Yata gachantam eva suryam agachantam pashyanti. Gachantam, yata gachantam eva suryam agachantam pashyati. Similarly, in the moving sun, he sees sun also moves. Gachantam suryam agachantam pashyati. Na tata. This is the vision of the Buddha. Na tata vidwan. Vidwan tata na pashyati. Kintu tasmin dehadi vyapar uparame api. Even though there is a uparama, that is cessation, there is a stoppage of the vyapara of the dehadi, api akarmani karma eva pashyati. He sees karma eva. He sees karma eva. The drishtanta is, it's a good drishtanta, Ashvaruda drishtanta. Ashvaruda drishtanta. So, because the horse doesn't move, he thinks himself not moving. The dehadi doesn't perform karma, therefore he thinks himself not moving karma. But Jnani has the knowledge, as a vision. Deghadi vyapara uparame api. Even when the body, mind, senses doesn't perform karma, karma eva pashyati vidwan. Yatha nighuda anguli mushtau bahikriya bhave api antara अंतरंगुलीनां मुकुली भाव सिद्धेः कारणभूत अंगुली निरोधन क्रिया विद्यते. This mushti, the mushti is fist, the fist this of the hand. When you fold your hands and keep the form of the mushti, mushti is the fist. That you close your fingers and keep your hand anguli mushto. That's called anguli mushto. Even though you don't do any action, you keep your hands, the fist closing, and the fingers are folded and the hand is closed. But that is also a kriya only. Only thing is anguli are restricted from movement. But it is also a chesta, it is also a kriya. Kriya vidyate eva. What kriya? Anguli nirodhana kriya vidyate eva. There is nirodhana, there is stoppage of the anguli. The fingers are like some people, they keep their hands in meditation. The fingers, they close it and tightly the fingers are held against the palm. So that is also cheshta only. There is a nirodhan kriya of the anguli. Vidyate eva. Similarly, yata nimilite chakshushi. In the eyes which are closed, nimilite. Bhagir darshana kriya bhave api. Even the eyes are closed, we are not sleeping, eyes are closed. There is darshanam, bhagir darshanam. Objects not seen because eyes are closed. Bhagir darshana kriya bhave api. Pakshma. Pakshma is the eyelid. Eyelid. Pakshma nirodhana. Pakshma, the word comes in, I think, the Kanagadhara Stotram. Pakshma netram. Pakshma it is eyelid. Pakshma nirodhana kriya vidyate. The eyes are closed. Nimilite chakshushi. Nimilite in the chakshushi, in the eyes which is closed. Nimilite chakshushi. Bhagi darshana kriya bhave api. The eyes have the vision. The eyes can see the external objects. Bhagi darshana kriya bhave api. Only when you sleep, you don't see. When you see when you close your eyes, you see. Only because of because the eyes are shut. The pakshma, the eyelids are like a shutter. Closes the eyes, the vision is obstructed. But there is darshana kriya asti eva. Darshana kriya bhave api. Pakshma nirodhana kriya vidyate. You voluntarily shut down the eyes. There is a action, there is a volition involved. That is a kriya eva. Pakshma nirodhana kriya vidyate eva. Tata, the same way. Tata, na agam kinchit karomi. I don't do anything. That is also a kriya only. I don't do anything. All these are examples for the nirodhana kriya. Nirodhana considered to be a kriya. That is not. Nirodhana considered to be a karma. It is not. Nat agam kinchit karomi. Tushnim avasthayam api. I don't do anything. I remain quiet. Tushnim avasthayam api. Bhagigi dehendriyadi chalan kriya bhave api. देहेन्द्रियादि चलन क्रिया भावे अस्ति एव तस्य भावत्वम् अस्ति अपि अंतर न अहम किंचित करोमि इति he thinks in himself अंतर न अहम किंचित करोमि इति कर्तुः even the very notion कर्तुः अग्रह रूपा मानसी क्रिया विद्यते एव even though there is there is a nirodhana kriya. Because of nirodhana kriya, he thinks himself to be not performing karma. But I don't do perform any karma. Iti, the kartuku of the one who has done the nirodhana kriya of the Jeghendriya. There is a agraga rupa manasi kriya vidyateva. The notion is there in the mind. Kaha kinchit na karoti iti chintayati agam. So therefore, manasi kriya vidyate. That is the manasa kriya. Therefore, we cannot say there is no kriya. Even in nirodhana, there is an abhimana. Kartuhu kartuhu agraha rupa. Kartuhu agraha rupa manasi kriya vidyate eva. So kartuhu, for the one who performs this nirodhana kriya, who performs the nirodhana kriya, manasi, in the mind, manasi, here manasi kriya vidyate eva. There is a kriya, there is an action, there is a kriya is there in the mind. Abhimana is the rakam na kinchit karami. That is the kriya only. So kartuhu agraha rupa. Kartuhu agraha rupa means there is no grahanam, there is no perception of the indriya vishaya, there is no transaction with the world. Bhagigi dekhendriyadi chalana kriya bhave api antaha na aham kinchit karomi iti kartuhu agraha rupa manasi kriya vidyate eva. That agraha rupa kriya, manasi kriya, agraha rupa manasi kriya, natu sharira kriya, dehe, natu indriya kriya. Indriya doesn't perform any karma because you have done the nirodhanam of indriya, nirodhanam of the deha. What about the mind? The mind knows because you only tells aham na kinchit karomi iti agraha rupa manasi kriya vidyate eva. The knower knows. Kartuhu is referring to the karta. The karta is a knower. The knower knows aham na kinchit karomi iti. The knower is there. The ER is there. Therefore, kriya vidyate eva. The kartuhu is now jnata. What is the jnanam? Aham na kinchit karomi. That knowledge is there. So, therefore, tushnim avasthayam api, even the tushnim avastha, in the avastha, the state of not doing anything, bhagihi dehendriyadi chalana kriya bhave, bhagihi dehendriyadi chalana kriya bhave. In the kriya, in the presence of the action, the chalana kriya, the movement of the sharira manasangata, dehendriya, api, bhave. That is, there is a bhava of the action in the form of the movement of the deha and indriya is there. Api antaha na aham kinchit karomi iti kartuhu kriya vidyate eva. Kartuhu in the form of knowing, in the form of the knowledge. Agraha rupa manasi kriya, the karma, in the form of that I don't do anything, that kriya is a kriya which the kriya of nirodhana of the sharira indriya, not mana, because the mind knows. Who knows? I don't do anything. The mind knows, you know. So that is the kriya only. Therefore, agraha rupa kriya, manasi kriya. What type of kriya? It is not physical action, it is the mental action. So manasi kriya vidyate eva. Even though there is no physical movement, even though there is, because tushnim avastha, there is no physical movement, but there is mental movement. So that is agraha rupa manasi kriya. Mental movement, mental action is there. Therefore, that is a kriya only. Therefore, akarmani karma pashyati. That is tenable only. That's what Bhagavan also said, akarmani. So agraha rupa manasi kriya vidyate. The kriya vidyate eva. So akarmani karma. Akriyayam kriya. Kriya vidyate eva. Iti. Antaha agraha kriya bhave. Now there is agraha kriya asti. Agrahanam. Here agraha is manasa agrahanam. There is a agrahanam in the mind, of the mind. Agraha kriya bhave. Bhagigi, externally, pani adini nirodha ayogat, mana vyaparaika moolatvat, sarvartha siddhaye, indriya kriya sambhavacha. Antaha inside agraha kriya bhave, there is bhave presence. Bhave, that is a kriya action of agrahanam. That is kriya of agrahanam. There is a perception. Agrahanam is perception. Perception need not only of sense objects. Perception of that I don't do anything. That is also a perception. So agraha kriya bhave antaha. Bagihi paniyadini nirodha ayogat मनोव्यापारिक मूलत्वात् सर्वार्थ सिद्धये इंद्रिय क्रिया संभवाच. बगिहि externally पानीयादीनि, that is कर्मेन्द्रियादि. कर्मेन्द्रियाणां निरोध अयोगात् मन व्यापारिक मूलत्वात् सर्वार्थ सिद्धये. मनः व्यापारिक मूलत्वात् सर्वार्थ सिद्धये, सर्व पुरुषार्थ सिद्धये. In the accomplishment of anything, there is a vyapara. There is a vyapara, the transaction. There is a vyapara is involved. Vyapara of the mind. Mana vyapara, manaha vyapara. Backed up by the mind only, all the indriyas, etc. function. Backed up by the mind only. In the absence of it, they cannot function. So, manaha is the vyapara. Mana has the status of being the moola of the vyapara, any transaction, for gaining any artha, sarvartha siddhaye, purushartha siddhaye, artha, kama, artha siddhaye, kama artha siddhaye. And that is not possible when the panyadini nirodha ayogat. Bhagihi panyadi nirodha ayogat. Ayogat means not association. Panyadini nirodha ayogat. Nirodha is stoppage of the karmendriyas. Ayogat, not ayogat means it is not. It is the panyadini, the function. Because sarvata siddhaye, manaha is a mula, antarindriya, and it is gained by the deha and indriya. So panyadini karmendriyani, because to karma only artha siddhi happens. Therefore, panyadini nirodha ayogat. Nirodha ayoga, it means the panyadini functions backed up by the mind for sarvata siddhi and indriya kriya sambhavacha. Indriyanam kriya sambhavacha, that is indriya kriya. Jnanendriya kriya, karmendriya kriya sambhavacha sarvata siddhi, accomplishment of any artha siddhi happens. Antaha agraha kriya bhave bhagihi panyadini nirodha ayogat manovyaparaika moolatva sarvartha siddhaye indriya kriya sambhavacha. Therefore kriya vidyate eva. Antaha agraha kriya bhave. Antaha in the bhagihi antaha inside. In the mind, agraha kriya bhave. There is a agrahana kriya, there is a perception, there is a kriya bhavaha asti. The kriya bhava is agraha kriya bhava. Agraha kriya bhave, there is a perception, agrahanam of the kriya of the action. So there is a perceiver, there is a doer. The doer performs karma. These are all different words, but it means what it means is simple words. Antaha agraha kriya bhave means the doer is there, the perceiver is there. Agrahanam is perception. Agraha kriya is the action of perceiving. So it means a doer. In the presence of the doer has to be present. In the presence of the doer, that is the mind. The person has to be present. The person being present. Therefore, backed up by the mind through the indriya, the karmendriya panyadini, it performs karma and gains the siddhi of the artha, sarvartha. And that is indriya kriya sambhavacha. That is sarvartha siddhi is possible also by not only by the mind, also by the action of the indriya, karmendriya, jnanendriya. By that sarvartha siddhi, accomplishment of the artha, sarvartha, artha is any goal. Any goal is accomplished by karmendriya, jnanendriya and deha. With the agraha kriya bhava, with the doer being there, with the in the presence of the doer, in the presence of the perceiver. The doer has to be there. Only when the doer is there, there can be chesta in the deha, there can be chesta in the indriyas, and there can be accomplishment of the artha. Without that, there cannot be. Kartuhu bhave, karma bhavaha, siddhi bhavaha. Only when the karta is there, there is accomplishment of karma, there is accomplishment of goal. Kartuhu abhave, when the agraha kriya is not there, akarta, then what is to be accomplished? What is to be accomplished and who has to accomplish? There is no accomplisher. There is no accomplisher, therefore there is no accomplishment because aham akarta. So the words look different, but it all means the same thing. Antaha agraha kriya abhave means this agrahana kriya, that is aham karta iti, that perception, kartuhu, aham karta iti abhimana, in the presence of which there is a performance of the action with the indriya packed up by the mind for the accomplishment of any purushartha, and also indriya kriya sambhavacha, because of the kriya, the action of the indriya, there is accomplishment. So indriya kriya sambhavacha is not only the mind, backed up by the mind, the indriyas perform karma, jnani, karmendriya, and there is accomplishment of the artha siddhi. Artha siddhi happens. So kartuha bhave, kriya bhavaha. So any kriya is possible only in the presence of karta. That is what agraha kriya bhavaha. Agraha kriya bhave sati, karma bhavaha, kriya bhavaha. Kriya is possible only when mind is there, because manaha is the vyapara mulakam, and indriya kriya also. Indriya performs karma backed up by the mind in gaining the artha siddhi, for the accomplishment of artha, purushartha siddhi. Purushartha here it is not moksha, it is prayer, it is prayers, kama artha, dharmartha kama siddhaye. We will stop here. It runs for many pages. We will see. We will continue in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवादः
धन्यवाद किशोर जी.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवादः जी.
धन्यवाद.